Don't you wish your khaki shorts were legitimately comfortable instead of stiff cotton? Try Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs stretch khaki shorts look like khaki shorts but feel like gym shorts. They have it all. Anti-stink, sweat-wicking fabric, a super comfortable built-in liner, and zipper pockets to keep everything secure. It's time to swap your old school khakis for Bird Dogs. Go to birddogs.com/MLB and enter promo code BASEBALL for a free baseball hat with your order. That's birddogs.com/MLB, promo code BASEBALL for a free hat. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off, we promise you.
Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/positive.
Going on the air.
This is Sports Daily on KFH.
On the line is the host of the Daily Tip and Audacy sports betting insider, Chelsa Messinger. Insider calls are presented by BetMGM. Go check out all of the latest lines today on the BetMGM app. Also, be sure to check out the Daily Tip podcast for more of Chelsa Messinger analysis. Just search BetMGM wherever you find your podcasts.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Sports Daily on a Thursday. Tommy Castor, Paul Savage in for Jacob Albrock, Jazz Chambers producing. The IHOP hotline is 869-1240, as always, on Thursdays. Joined by our betting insider, Chelsa Messinger, on the show today. Chelsa, a lot to get to here in this segment. Of course, U.S. Open golf kicks off today, or I guess I should say tees off today, getting ready for that at L.A. Country Club. And I got to tell you, I want to kick things off by, I guess, apologizing to you because I placed a bet, Chelsa, on the U.S. Open that I know you're going to say was probably not the smart bet. I picked Brooks Koepka as the outright winner. I know you always talk about doing a top 5 or a top 10 or a top 20, but for whatever reason, I just felt like because he won the last major, the PGA Championship, I thought his value was pretty good at 12-1. I don't know. Was that wrong of me to try to throw some money on him as an outright winner?
I don't think it's wrong. I think it's risky just because outrights are really tough. And I think it's hard to win back-to-back majors. I think that's probably the biggest sabotage factor, is it not? It's just so difficult to win one major, let alone back-to-back. But I'll say this about Brooks Koepka. When he's dialed in, he's dialed in. This used to be the major king on the PGA Tour, and you can tell that the confidence is officially back. He's tweeting at Brandel Chambly. He's talking trash to other players on the PGA Tour. So I'm not going to talk you off it. It's just, you know how I feel about outrights. I think there are other bets that may be a little bit more conservative. Like for me, I think I'm going to do a top 20 bet on Victor Hovland. I think this week you need to be good with the irons. I've heard all about how the rough is really rough at LA Country Club. So I'm going to go with Victor Hovland, one of the better irons players on tour. And also, he just won his putter, the one X factor that he's usually lacking. Putter's on fire coming into this tournament. So for me, it's Victor Hovland, top 20.
Let's talk a little bit, Chelsa, about the value and the way that you assess value when it comes to golf, and especially like the U.S. Open, because and Jacob and I were actually talking about this yesterday as we were giving our picks for the tournament. You know, when you're betting football or you're betting basically any other sport, you're trying to find, you know, maybe plus money wherever you can. In golf, it's basically all plus money, right? So like even the favorite to win in Scotty Scheffler is 6-1 to win. That's the favorite. So how do you assess value overall when you're looking at, you know, basically every single player is getting plus money? How far down do you go that, you know, down that list of players that, you know, may end up being 200-1 or 300-1? Is that a big reason why you typically stay away from outright winners entirely?
I think just because it's really tough, because your handicap can be spot on for a player, but if one player has a better round or even beats them in a playoff, you win $0. So I think that you put like a little bit on outrights, but your main bet should be like the top 5s, top 20s, and top 10s for that reason. But I'll say this about long shots. Usually it's not a solid play at the majors because these courses are way more difficult and the spotlight is way brighter going into Sunday at a major. It's not the same thing as winning at like Hilton Head or whatever on a run-of-the-mill weekend on the PGA Tour. So I think that's why I kind of stay away from the long shots at the majors. So I think it's actually not a terrible play to go with the chalky plays when it comes to majors for that reason. Guys who are not going to completely wilt down the stretch if the spotlight's on, because we all know that golf is an extremely mental game.
Well, this is a golf course that hadn't had a major or a PGA tournament since 1948, is my understanding. And I guess on how the hamburger's fried up, does this make it tougher to set lines? Because this is a golf course which I find fascinating. I'm going to really enjoy watching this tournament on this particular golf course. They've got par threes that are over 300 yards, Tommy, and they've got some par threes that are under 100 yards. So it's a fascinating golf course. But how hard does it get to set lines with some of these guys when you're not really familiar with this golf course and how they're setting it up?
Well, I think the bottom line is most golfers are going to be in the same situation. So it's an even playing field. Although there are some golfers there that do know the course. Maybe it's the course before they made the adjustments, because I know a lot of people are on Patrick Cantlay this weekend because Patrick Cantlay is a California guy, played at UCLA. He's played on this course before. And also Max Homa. He's somebody who has proven that he can win in the state of California and actually has the course record at this very course. Although, like I said, it was pre-majoring of this course. So they definitely have made the obstacles a lot tougher. But, yeah, it's built into the number. A lot of these guys don't have a ton of familiarity here.
Okay, so one more U.S. Open question for you that is kind of, I don't know. I put some money on it I think I have him as a top 20, I want to say. And that's Nick Taylor. Of course, he had that dramatic eagle putt for the win last week at the RBC Canadian Open. I'm not really sure how things typically carry over from, one tournament going into a major, the winner of the last tournament going in to a particular major. But I just figured because of all of the emotion, surrounding that eagle putt for the win and all of that, I thought he might be able to follow it up with a pretty solid U.S. Open. Are there any other long shots or any other players that, outside of the chalk, outside of Scheffler and Rahm and Koepka, that you're looking at potentially having a really good week?
Yeah, no. Like I said, I think majors are not the time to play long shots. I'll say Justin Rose has been playing pretty well lately. I'm not going to put any money on him to win outright. And that's the thing. Like, if you're playing top 30s, top 40s, and you can still get plus money on somebody who's relatively unknown, I'm fine with that. I just think winning is a different scenario. And here's the thing about, like, some of the chalk. Scotty Scheffler was talking about how his putting was, like, up in the air and how he might be trying some new things. And doesn't that sound like somebody who has not been playing well? This guy has been top 10 in, 5 straight? Scotty Scheffler is unreal. The consistency that he brings to the table each and every week on the PGA Tour is crazy to me. So I would not talk you off. Scotty Scheffler, minus 140 to finish in the top 10. This guy is the picture of consistency. It feels like he's the Nikola Jokic of the PGA Tour. Yeah, top 5 in 4 straight and top 11 in 6 straight. My goodness. If there's ever a safe bet, it feels like Scotty Scheffler.
Well, before we get off this topic real quick, if you don't mind, give me that one bet I'm looking for, that one prop. Give me a prop that, man, maybe I can make some money on. Just give me the one prop you like.
Yeah, it's going to be that Scotty Scheffler one. I feel like that is the safest play. Like I said, I'm on Victor Hovland as well. I think he's a pretty solid play for top 20. But other than that, like, I don't have a ton riding on the U.S. Open. I think that it's not a terrible play to wait till after the first day, because here's the thing about golf. You can still get pretty good prices on outrights even after the first day. So it feels like a more wait-and-see approach to where, if somebody's blowing up, you don't have all your money riding on him, and you get a better thermostat on what's going on with the golfer.
All right, Chelsea, let's shift gears here a little bit and talk Major League Baseball. Definitely some intriguing matchups as we get into the games today and then into this weekend. I know, of course, Shohei Ohtani and the Angels on the road taking on their division foes, the Rangers. Nate Eovaldi on the bump for the Rangers on this game tonight. What are you looking at in the world of Major League Baseball as we get into this weekend?
I'll be on the Twins today in the first 5, the -0.5, which means they need to be ahead. If they are tied, you do not win. But listen, the Tigers have been slumping lately. 1-9 over their past 10. The Twins are great in this situation. 26-14 as a favorite, and winners of their last 4 of 5. Plus, they have their best pitcher on the mound, arguably speaking. Sonny Gray throwing today 4-1 with a 2.25 ERA, and he's even better at home with a 1.71 ERA. Matt Boyd comes in with a 3-5 record and a 5.55 ERA. So I'm willing to fade the Tigers in this spot. That's my favorite play of the day.
Do we have any kind of play with the Rays and the Athletics? Fascinating story going on in Oakland. They're moving to L.A. Fans show up one day, don't show up the next day. Is there any kind of play there that you like with those two teams?
Yeah, I think the A's are a team you stay far, far away from because
Okay.
right now they're red hot. I'm not willing to fade them at this point. At one point, they were the worst team in baseball.
Right.
They've found some confidence. And I'll say today they at least have a good starter going in Paul Blackburn, which if you follow baseball, he was supposed to be one of the pitchers that were on the trading block last year. He was an all-star. So if there's ever a chance for the A's to get a win here against the best team in baseball, that's not due to some like voodoo magic, which is what I'm, calling the rest of their wins, because on paper they're still not a good team.
Right.
You've got to remember, it's a 162-game season. Just because they won 7 games does not mean that they're going to win the World Series. It's been a great story, but be careful if you're banking on all the momentum of the Oakland A's. Eventually, they're probably going to turn back into a pumpkin.
One more from me in baseball, Chelsea, before we let you go. What's your take on the Arizona Diamondbacks? They've got the second best record in the National League. I've watched them several different times, and to me, they don't look like a fluke. They look like an incredibly complete team. Are you seeing the same thing? And if so, is there a good way to attack betting them?
Yeah, they are a good team, led by Corbin Carroll, who is their rookie, who is now the odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year because he has the best OPS, or maybe it's the second best OPS, but still one of the best OPSs in all of baseball, and that is including the big dogs, not just the rookies. So Arizona is one of those teams that's really made the most of the new rule changes. I think that's part of their success. They steal a lot of bases. They're a really fast team. And also, it's a team that's been rebuilding for quite some time. So eventually, these prospects that they got via trades are starting to get to the big leagues, and we're seeing the potential. So a team that maybe you get some good value on day in and day out, just in the betting world, because a lot of people still don't believe in them.
Well, it's definitely interesting, and they were a team that at the beginning of the season, I didn't particularly see being where they are right now. I thought they would be improved. I wasn't sure that they would be. In fact, I didn't think at all that they would be leading the National League West. But here we are. They're 41-27 with the second best record in the National League. And like you said, led by Corbin Carroll, who is really, really fun to watch. Chelsea, thanks for your time as always. I know that as we get into next week, we're going to be talking more Major League Baseball and maybe even starting to look ahead into what we've got in the fall. I don't know. I mean, it seems like we're kind of in that middle ground where we're done with the NBA and the NHL. We're waiting for NFL and college football. We're kind of caught in the middle. So I'm sure that we'll have some more bets to talk about. But until then, again, as always, thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem. I just saw a tweet. Somebody asked Joe Burrow about Taylor Swift. That's what season we're in. It's the off season, baby.
You gotta love it. Yeah. It makes it challenging in our role to try to find good, compelling content to talk about, but we'll make it happen. And of course, we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that was Chelsa Messinger. She is the host of the Daily Tip and Audacy Sports Betting Insider. Insider calls are presented by BetMGM. Go check out all of the latest lines today on the BetMGM app. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Paul, real quick, before we get into hour number 2, we got a lot going on in hour number 2, by the way. I want to talk a little bit about the disaster dumpster fire that are the Kansas City Royals.
Oh, for
If
gosh
you thought
sakes.
it couldn't get any worse, them being 31 or 32 games under 500, it got worse yesterday. We'll tell you about that on the other side of the break. It's Sports Daily, Castor and Savage on a Thursday on KFH.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit max.com.
Looking for an adventure? Find yours in a Toyota. Like a Camry with stylish design and a reputation for reliability that can't be beat. Or go with a Corolla, both affordable and capable. With so many trims and features to choose from. Or check out the new Crown, presenting you with luxurious style and elegant amenities to make your day a breeze. No matter your adventure, Toyota has you covered. Visit buyatoyota.com for more. Toyota, let's go places.
Nationals baseball is in full swing.
Strike 3 called. He got him looking. That's 10 strikeouts for Mackenzie Gore.
With the free Audacy app, local fans can listen live all summer long, whether you're at the grill or at the pool.
Going, and gone. Goodbye. C.J. Abrams, a grand slam.
Nationals baseball. Nationals announcers streaming live on the free Audacy app. AUDACY. Get in the game and download it today.